Hey, 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 ladies. How are you ladies doing tonight? How are you ladies doing tonight? Comment in the chat box and let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me well. Comment in the chat box and let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me well. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me well. Comment in the chat box. Let me know. Let me know. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me well? Hey, 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 hey. We are live on YouTube. Can you let me know if you can hear me? Can you let me know if you can hear me well? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, there we go. Now I can see it. I'm new to this YouTube thing, but listen, we're gonna have some fun tonight. You ladies, go ahead and comment in the chat box how you feeling tonight. Are you feeling blessed? Are you feeling good? Comment in the chat box and let me know how you're feeling on this Tuesday evening. How are you doing on this Tuesday evening? You ladies, literally hold up, like bear with me because your girl is new to this. But listen, I am gonna overcome this thing of being outside of our God's Girl Lounge. And we're going to rock this thing tonight. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have a much needed conversation on tonight. So you guys go ahead and comment in the chat box as you're coming in. Let me know where you rocking from tonight. I'm a Bama girl. I'm here in Alabama with this literally bipolar weather. Where you guys are rocking from? Come in the chat box. Let me know where you rocking from. Let me know where you are tuning in from on tonight. Where you tuning in from? What you tuning? Somebody said they feeling great tonight. Y'all can hear and see me. That's good. We got Ohio in the house tonight. Okay, Ohio. Where else? We got the ATL in the house tonight. Okay, okay. Where else do we have? Rep your city, Lafayette. Okay, rep your city, rep your city. You guys come on in, come on in. I am super excited for the opportunity to share with you guys tonight, just to be in your presence. I am super geeked about this thing. Listen, we got Tennessee in the house tonight. Okay, okay. I am super, super excited, y'all. I promise you, y'all know if anybody has rocked with me before, y'all know I be on 10 all the time, and I've been geeked about this all day long. I've been geeked about this all day long. One thing I know, when I get the opportunity to literally serve, when I get the opportunity to have a conversation with my girls, listen, I be all in. Literally, life be life, and sometimes somebody said my mic going in and out. Is that better? Let me know. Is that better? Is that better? Listen, life be life, and sometimes, and we get overwhelmed, we get full of anxiety, we get burned out. So I was like, listen, we got to have a conversation about this thing. So tonight we are going to do just that. I'm going to literally diagnose you. Listen, stay with me. I want to tell you why you're so overwhelmed. I want to tell you the real reason why you're so overwhelmed, the real reason why you're burned out, the real reason why you're operating anxiety. Listen, at the end of the year, you go back and you start to reflect, like, oh my God, it's a lot of different things that I did not accomplish. It's a lot of different things I wanted to do that I did not do. How many of you guys are like that? And here it is, December. You got to write the whole year off and say that you're going to start in 2026. But one thing I wanted to do is have a conversation with you because before you start 2026, before you write 2025 off, we need to have a conversation, right? We need to understand the reasons why we're overwhelmed, the reason why we didn't accomplish those goals, the reason why we were stagnated, the reason why, right? We still operating in fear. The reason why we are still procrastinating. We need to identify the reasons why before we go into a new year. Y'all feeling me tonight? Go ahead and comment if you are ready. If you are ready to get this party started, come in the chat box. I'm ready. Come in the chat box. Speak, girl. Come in the chat box. Let me know that you are ready to get down. I'm kind of cockeyed, probably because I'm trying to look at here, this screen. I got like 5 different screens up. But we gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. This is how this is gonna flow tonight. So I'm gonna talk about a couple different things, but basically I'm going to tell you my story, my personal story of how being burned out, being overwhelmed, right, almost cost me my marriage. It almost cost me personal relationships, building personal relationships with my kids. It almost cost me my business. It almost cost me a lot of different things, right? How many of you guys can testify, right? Whether or not you are literally operating on fumes. Literally, you like, girl, all my days are blurred. I don't know if I'm coming or going sometime. Like, how many of you guys feel that way? You're like, girl, I promise you, I still don't understand. I still haven't cracked the code on how to balance it all. Is that you? You like, girl, I don't know how I got so many things that I have to do. I have to show up for everybody, and I just don't understand how to do this thing. And then I don't understand how many of you guys literally trying to be the Proverbs 31 lady, but you don't even know how she doing all the things that she doing. And people keep throwing her in your face, like, girl, I don't even know how she's doing all the things that she's doing. With all the things that you have on your plate, you like, how do I balance it all? How do I balance it all? How do I even consider dreaming again? How do I even consider being able to love again, being able to accomplish the goals that I want to accomplish, right? And so I'm going to show you how it cost me the very pertinent things in my life. Then we're going to go and I'm going to share with you the moment that I realized that, listen, I didn't need any more motivation. I needed some systems. And this is the first spoiler alert of the night. A system is not the same thing as a schedule. A schedule cannot fix your life. So if you're operating on fumes, if you're overwhelmed, if you people pleasing, if you operating in fear, if you don't have clarity, listen, a schedule is not gonna fix your life. A new planner is not gonna fix your life. But we're gonna change that tonight for those of you that think so, because a schedule and a system are two totally different things. Y'all rocking with me tonight. Okay. And so we're going to go into that. I'm going to go into why so many women now are so overwhelmed, why so many women don't feel like they can conquer and do all the things because of time, right? We're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to give you an introduction to the five systems that changed my life. The five systems that got your girl marriage right. The five systems that helped me lose 20 pounds. The five systems that got me out of debt. The five systems that got me in a closer relationship with Christ. Come on. How many of you guys just want those things? How many of you guys are tired of going, operate? As soon as you get out the bed, you running. Soon as you get out the bed, you run. As soon as you get out the bed, you overwhelmed with all the things that you have to do, right? But today I'm going to give you a different perspective. I'm going to give you a different way of thinking and these systems that help me. Because, girl, listen, we don't have time to lose the people that are close to us. We don't have time to continue to let our schedules run us. We're supposed to be running our schedules. How do we begin to operate as God's girls, right? And we're not even, okay, let me slow down. Let me slow down. Let me slow down. So I'm gonna give you the introduction of these systems and how they changed my life. And then I want you to go and I want you to journal when we get off this call, and I want you to begin to really evaluate your life, evaluate where you are, evaluate where you're desiring to be, evaluate those things that you need to do to be able to bridge the gap in between. Okay, so you guys are ready. I can see my screen, so we're gonna dive in. So I'm gonna share a little bit of my story. I ain't gonna share all of it, but I'm gonna give you some good key. So I would say about 2.5 years ago, me and my husband, we literally sold our home and we packed up to another city. Now, in that moment, listen, your girl had a whole storefront. She was a consultant. I have a consulting firm. I help other women launch their businesses. I'm a mom. My husband is a trucker, so he was gone. I was holding it all down by myself. I was in true hustle mode. You hear me? How many of you guys literally like, girl, I feel you. You running a 9 to 5, you got your contract jobs, you got your side hustle, you got them kids, you're a wife, you serve at church, all the things, all the roles. Like if it's a role, you've done it, you doing it, right? And so we literally packed up, sold our house, and we moved to a new city. Now, for me, it was like, listen, the very first thing I thought about is like, I'm not gonna be around my mama, and my mother-in-law was still some distance out. So I'm like, Lord, who gonna help me with these kids? How many of you guys thank the Lord for your support system? Come in the chat box. Do you thank God for your support system? I'm like, Lord, if we move, what am I gonna do? Who gonna help me with these kids, Lord? Because I was so full of being in hustle mode. When I say fully in hustle mode, I mean fully in hustle mode. My kids literally, they saw me, but not really. Right? And some of us, I know I'm not the only one that literally give your kids access to that pantry while you continue to write them emails for work, while you continue to pack them orders, while you even talk on the phone with your girlfriend, you get them kids complete access to that pantry. But so many times, y'all, literally my kids will go to bed and they'll go to sleep and I go upstairs and they go to sleep with the book that I promised them that I will read. Or they will literally go to sleep with the movie that I told them that I was gonna watch with them because I told them to go ahead and get the snacks and then I'm on my way, right? And so I knew that if we moved to a new area, we moved to a new city, something had to change. Why? Because they were gonna get acclimated to being in a new environment. We had to get them acclimated with new schools, new people. So it was like something had to give. I had to be present. My kids needed me to be present. Okay. And so for so long, and I learned that these kids really don't want all the materialistic stuff. They want us. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. Right. And so I was like, something got to give. Something gotta give. But when I began to even evaluate, this pattern, I seen this pattern before. When I was a single mom, I seen this pattern. Me always operating on fumes, me always being burned out, me always doing too much. How many of you guys can say it's like, "Girl, sometimes I just be doing too much." Like, because let's be real, the moment somebody give you an opportunity to make some more money, you gonna all ears. You like, "Okay, what I gotta do? How I gotta do it?" Okay? And you begin to literally, sacrifice the non-negotiables. Right? How many of you guys been there? Don't listen, this is a safe place now. I ain't gonna tell nobody, but I know I'm not the only one. You be in your bag. Like literally, you gotta survive, right? And so it's one of the things, it's not the stuff that we're doing intentionally or maliciously. It's like, girl, we gotta survive. We gotta feed these kids. I was a single mom and doing the same thing, literally doing too much. I was literally saying yes before I sat down and evaluated where my time was going. Some of us are just bankrupt when it comes to time. It's like you done said yes so many times to where it's like, girl, I'm like in a deficit when it comes to time. I don't have no more time. How many of you guys just like, girl, I don't have no more time. It ain't no more time. Like I don't have 24 hours in a day, and I promise you, I don't know where mine is going. Right? Y'all still rocking with me tonight. But I had to change, right? Something had to change, right? Something had to change. I was literally operating on fumes, right? And I was willing to sacrifice my non-negotiables, right? So I was taking time for my kids, taking time for my husband, right? Taking time from the people that matter to me the most to be fully in hustle mode. Have y'all been there? I started my mornings literally running. I started my nights ended with me barely being able to get into bed. My brain just fried, like literally from just doing all the things all day. Like, I literally would pray to God, "Lord, give me more hours. Lord, can we have is there any more hours in the day?" And I bet God be like, "Girl, what you doing with the 24 hours I've already given you?" You ever think that? Like, I really think God is calling us to fix, right, the things that are still in our time now instead of asking Him for more hours. Y'all rocking with me this morning, this evening rather. And so, it's one of the things to where, listen, I had to make a change. Right? Being burned out. I'm like, Lord, I know I was not created to literally sit here and be just going, going, going. Like everything was gonna abort from me. I was so overwhelmed. It's like certain days, y'all, I could not, I had to get myself, like pry myself out of the bed. The very things that I prayed to God for, I wasn't even able to appreciate them because I was so tired. I was so out of it. I couldn't even enjoy the fruits of my labor. And why so many people may look at you and like, girl, she's successful, girl, she's doing the things. They don't know the nights that you're just crying out for help. They don't know the nights that you sitting there like, Lord, is this my life? Is this what I signed up for? How many of y'all rocking with me tonight? Like nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. We just make this look good. And for some reason, it's one of the things to where I think that we just have been conditioned to take care of everybody else before we take care of ourselves. So we're just known. Some of us are just that person. Everybody, how many of you guys, everybody comes to you for everything. Everything they gonna come to you. They gonna ask you, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You have to be everything to everybody. And so it leaves no time for yourself, right? It leaves no time for yourself. But tonight, listen, I'm gonna give you a better way. I'm gonna introduce a better way. Now, the moment that I realized that I needed, right, that I needed systems and motivation, right? I needed systems and not motivation rather, was when we moved. Mm. Everything shifted for me. My girls were getting older. Yeah, how many girl moms we have here? And you know, in those pivotal moments, they need their mama. They need you to be speaking into them like my girls needed me. My girls wanted to start doing extracurriculars, and I had put it out for so long, but I'm like, Lord, it's not fair to them. I gotta tap into being this mama, right? And so they needed to be fully present. Like literally, they needed me to be fully present. On top of that, my husband, like I mentioned, was a trucker. And so I literally, during that time when we moved, we were gonna finally be up under one roof together consistently because before when he was on contract, he was back and forth and it was just me and my oldest daughter. But when I had my youngest daughter, it was all, just us. So now we moving to a new city, we moving all together. We under one roof, right? So I knew I didn't want that man coming home to no chaos. I didn't want him to literally be mentally strained to try to figure out how things worked in the house. So I wanted a structure that supported all of us and just not me. It wasn't just me. Like I had to make sure that I was creating new rhythms and new routines for all of us so that we could be able to flourish in a new city, right? These my girls were going to school. I had a kindergarten and for a preschool at that point, and then my oldest daughter, she was literally coming, being uprooted from her friends and coming to a new space. I didn't want all that chaos in our home, right? I didn't want all that chaos in our home. So it was just one of the things I'm like, oh, something has something gotta give, Lord. Because literally, I didn't wanna give up everything that I was working so hard for. How many of you guys have felt like you had a crossroad where you had to choose? You had to choose between your goals or your family, or you had to choose your family over your goals. How many of you guys been there? And I'm like, "God, I'm just really tapping into what this purpose thing is. I ain't got it all figured out, but, we kinda rolling with it, you know? I'm learning that you can't chase purpose, and it's the thing that you gotta, strive for every day. I'm learning. But it's still the fact that I didn't want to literally give up everything that I had worked so hard for. Y'all been there, right? So I prayed. I prayed. I thought I needed more discipline. Better yet, I literally thought that I needed just a book that would teach me more time management and a planner. And I'm the planner queen. I create them. I just felt that I needed a different type of planner and a book on time management, and this will fix my problem. And I'm here to tell you tonight that a schedule would not fix your life. A planner would not fix your life. Girl, you gotta have systems, right? You have to have systems, but it even goes deeper than that because I was literally hustling so much and being so caught up in making my money, building my brand to where the very titles, literally, y'all, listen, the very titles that meant the most, the title of being a wife and a mom are the ones that literally were at the end of the priority list. Am I helping anybody tonight? And so I literally, and it wasn't just something that I was waking up doing intentionally. It was the fact that I was just so caught up in the daily hustle and bustle of all the things that I had to do, right? Have you been there? Y'all talk to me in the chat box. Have y'all been there? Have you been there? Somebody say, yes, this is so me to a point that when I became empty nester, I was so lost. Yeah, like it's one of those things to where it's like, Lord, like, what is going on? Is this my life? Is this what I signed up for? Right? But I literally somebody said I'm stuck there. Yeah, like, I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm like, I think for so long we condition ourselves to believe that everything's supposed to be so complicated, right? As women, come on, let's be honest. We can complicate anything. We can overthink it. We complicate relationships. We complicate life. We overthink everything, right? But those are the lies that the enemy used to keep us stuck. And how many of you guys in going into 2026, like, I'm coming out. I am not I'm not going to literally settle for nothing in God's best. I'm not gonna keep living where I'm burned out, overwhelmed, and I have no clarity. I'm not gonna keep living like that. Somebody come in the chat box and that's not me. That won't be me, right? That will not be me. We have settled for the idea that we're supposed to get up every day, go to work, right? Pay bills and die. That is not what I signed up for. I did not commit to the girl being a guy's girl to receive that package. How many of you guys are rocking with me tonight? I did not sign up to literally pay bills, wake up every day, pay bills, and die. When God says in John 10 and 10 that he came that I may have life and have it more abundantly. So why do we keep allowing the enemy to trick us into accepting less than God's best? Being okay going day after day with complete chaos in our lives, literally, and no clarity, right? Why do we keep allowing people to drain us and leave us empty? Why? Yeah, right. But I'm a firm believer that in this hour, God is literally delivering us from being in survival mode. How many of you guys been operating in survival mode? He's delivering us, and now you have a desire to think different. You have a desire to feel different. You're more interested in personal development. Is that you now? You want to be a better version of yourself. You want to literally operate in purpose, right? You want to begin to explore. You want to begin to invest. You want to travel, right? Some of you want to get married, right? You want to have kids. You want to go back to school. You're thinking. You want to live out your dreams. You're thinking differently. But when you keep looking at your current situation, you keep losing hope. How many of you guys with me tonight? You keep losing hope. So, girl, listen, I had to pray. I'm looking at the comments over here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had to pray. I had to ask God for guidance. Because for those of you that do not know me, and I didn't introduce myself, but I'm telling you now, my name is Shalindra Terrence. And one of the things that I love to do, that I love that God chose me to do, is that I get to literally operate as a business consultant and take the witty ideas and revelations that God has given me to be able to help women start and launch profitable, purpose driven businesses. And one of the things that I always tell my clients is, girl, you need systems, right? I can remember when I gave birth, right, to my baby girl. I gave birth to her in COVID, right? And so she came 6 weeks early. And so I literally had started a new cohort. For those of you that remember, I had started a new cohort, and I was like, "Oh my God, I just took these folks' money. This girl done came early. These people done called me to the hospital. What do I do?" I was introduced to someone named Wendy Anderson, and she literally was teaching at the moment at that time about systems. And I literally learned when we got together, she developed systems for my business, y'all. And when I tell you I didn't miss a beat, my money kept flowing, and I was literally in the hospital bed. And that's when I learned that systems, right, is power. It's power when you have systems in your business. So when I began to pray, Lord, what in the world do I supposed to do? Literally, God revealed to me the same systems that you are so confident about building for the businesses is the same systems you need to build for your life. How many of you guys are ready to go in? Now, this hit me hard. I ain't gonna lie. Because I said God is calling us out of survival mode, right? So he's calling us out of literally functioning just enough to get through the day, but enough to actually live the life that he intended us to live. Okay. So let me go before I go in now. I gotta show you, I gotta tell you how you know that you operate in survival mode. How many of you guys are operating on fumes? Even now. It's like even now you tired, but you holding on this line. Right? How many guys literally operating on fumes? You constantly overweight, right? You constantly say yes because you're afraid to fall behind, right? You often go through the motions but never feel caught up. You always putting out fires, right? You always take care of everyone else except yourself. You always live tired. You got a scatterbrain. You mentally drained. How many of you guys? There we go. There we go. We are literally operating in survival mode. But you know what struck me the worst? It's the fact of the matter. Do you know what survival mode means spiritually? It means that we're living beneath God's inheritance. We're literally living beneath our inheritance. When we begin to operate in survival mode, girl, do you know that we operating as orphans and not God's daughters? Come on now. And I'm like, oh my God. So you mean all this time I'm operating in survival mode. I'm operating in hustle mode because you know society tell us if you ain't got no movement, literally, if you ain't busy, if you ain't booked and busy, right? You ain't got no motion. You're not important. Society adds up what you're doing by your word, but that's totally contrary to God's word. And so we have, if you're operating in survival mode, listen, we are literally operating, we're living beneath our inheritance, which means that all this time we're in survival mode. All this time, girl, I was in survival mode, acting like an orphan and not God's daughter. I was operating the complete opposite of my identity in God. Right? And see, what happened was my old way of doing things couldn't sustain the women that I was becoming. right? Or the household that me and my husband was building. And so for so long, my schedule, girl, my schedule literally it worked me and I didn't work my schedule. How many of you guys can say that? Girl, my schedule working me. How many of you guys, your schedule is working you and you're not working your schedule? I'm in the chat box. I need to know. I need to know. I wanna know. I wanna know. And that's why I'm like, "Lord, something gotta give." And as God's girls, Imma tell you this, the only thing that we need to be focused about is literally looking up at every day, evaluating, right, where we are, where we desire to be, and the when we get up out the bed in the morning, the things that are in the middle, right, the things that we do every day are supposed to be bridging the gap from where we are to where we wanna be. How many of you guys have a growth plan? That's why you create a growth plan so that you can identify those things, identify the areas in your life where you need growth so that you can be able to bridge the gap. Right? And so that's why we gotta build systems. That's why we have to build routines. That's why we gotta build disciplines to bridge that gap, to close the gap. God is not calling us to be desperate with our time, not in this season, but He's trying to help us to evaluate where we're spending our time, right? And it's supposed to be aligning with His purpose for our lives, right? Because I'm gonna tell you this, if we're doing things that are not bridging the gap, we're not being intentional with our time. We're not being intentional with what we're giving our attention to. And we're only draining ourselves. That's why we're drained because we're waking up every day doing things that are not helping us get where we want, where we desire to be, or where God is calling us to be. So it brings frustration because you're not seeing no movement. The reason why not seeing the movement because you're not intentional with what you're giving your time to, right? And so once I built those systems, your girl, I lost 20 pounds. I got my health straight. I was on 3 blood pressure medications, y'all, like, I'm telling y'all, I promise you, like, I was on 3 blood pressure medication, my blood pressure was sky high. They put me on 3 pills. Like, when I began to live off these systems, I was down to just 1, which was a little water pill. Like, I was okay with that. It was just a little mild water pill, but I got off of those pills, right? I began to take note of what I was putting in my body. I began to literally stay focused on what the things that I was doing. I lost the weight. I put in the work. Literally, I was able to add a self-care day, right, to my weekly schedule without sacrificing time from work with my husband or for my kids. Girl, I was able to literally budget and save money. I got my credit back straight. I was able to literally save money. Literally, I wrote 2 big books. I got new contracts. My mind was I'm full of clarity because I woke up every day literally taking a moment to give my day back to God. I literally put God back in my schedule because how many of you guys are literally operating in the capacity now to where it's like, Lord, I don't even have time to read my Bible sometimes. I just have to give God those prayers right on the way to work. How many of you guys just don't have the time to literally sit down and have alone time, one-on-one time with God, getting in His presence? Then we are not dating our husbands. We're not dating bae. We're not spending time with the kids. It's not something that we're doing intentionally. It's just the fact that we're not being intentional with our time. And I think it's the fact that we condition our mind to think that we need more hours in the day instead of us evaluating the things that are currently on our plate. Because I'm a firm believer that when I began to sit down and evaluate the things that were on my plate, girl, I had picked up some things that God did not tell me to pick up. I was literally giving my attention to people that shouldn't have gotten access to me. I was literally trying to show up for everybody and be the strong friend. In some seasons, God don't need you to be the strong friend. Some seasons, God needs you to step back and accept the people that He's placed in your life to carry you at the capacity where He's taking you. Y'all feeling me today? But we are so conditioned to do everything, to overcomplicate everything, and to overthink everything instead of just taking a moment to breathe and step back and try to figure out Lord, how? Lord, how do I get out of this? Lord, how do you deliver me? Lord, what I need to play in it, right? So tonight is about when I'm about to go into these systems, right? I'm about to go into these systems because you literally been thinking there must be a better way, right? You're literally trying to balance everything but nothing moves, right? You may be a single mom and you don't have any help, right? You may be a single mom and don't have any help. You're tired of feeling this chaos every day, right? You literally barely have time to pray. You barely have time to read your Bible. Like you literally wake up every day putting everybody else first. You get out of bed with a long to-do list and you're immediately overwhelmed by the things. So tonight is about those women that's ready. You saying, Lord, I know it has to be a better way. God, I know that I was not created literally to live like this, Lord. Got to be a better way. God, deliver me from being in survival mode. God, deliver me from taking less than your best. God, deliver me, God, from being an orphan and not operating as your daughter. Y'all, come on, give me some hearts in the chat box. How many of you guys want God to deliver you from being an orphan and operating as his daughter? It's time, right? So these are the systems. Y'all ready for the systems? Come in the chat box. Get your piece of paper out. Let me tell y'all the system. Maybe it's good. And I'm gonna show y'all the women that I created it for. I'm gonna go list out this. I got my notes up here so I can tell it to you real good. I love to tell the story, girl. I love to tell the story. I'm a writer, so y'all know I love to paint the picture and tell the story. So come in the chat box if you ready to get these systems. I hope y'all got y'all something to write with. Come in the chat box and let me know. Is this good? Is this good? Are you getting anything? We finna get to the good part now. We about to get to the good part. Y'all let me know. Are you feeling me? Are you feeling good? Is this helping you? Is this helping you paint the picture of where you're going or settling of where you are in life, right? So the very first system, this is for the woman who wakes up already behind. Like you wake up in the morning, you already behind. Like literally. This is the woman who can't hear herself think. This is the woman who hasn't had a moment of stillness in a long time. Mm, 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 mm. Is that you? Come in the chat box if you that lady. Come in the chat box if you hadn't had a long time in a long time. You don't even know what it means. You can't hear yourself thinking. You wake up already feeling behind, right? I created the faith system for this woman. This is where I literally get up in the morning. This is where our morning and our evening routines are birthed. This is where we take the moment to sit back and literally take a deep breath, right? And give our schedules to God. To ask God, where do we need to literally be today? Where do we need to take as a priority today, right? This system restores your clarity. For those of you that are confused, this system literally gives you the time, gives you the routine to where you're sitting and you're able to hear from God to see what it is that you need to focus on today. If you got a lot to do list, this system literally makes you see to understand clarity, right? Okay. This system is where your peace lies, where your identity, your confidence. This that helps you finally hear from God, hear yourself, and move with intention, not panic. So many times we're getting up in the morning, we're already checking the emails, we're already seeing what it is we're already thinking about all the things that we have to do, and we're already like literally mind is already in those soon as we get out of bed. And so for some of us, girl, I've got to come down your road because we barely get out of bed because we so tired. In our house in the morning, like complicated, like complete chaos. Because we literally waking them kids up an hour before it's time to go. We rushing out the house, right? We hollering at them. They doing this wrong. They forgot they lunch. They forgot because we're not prepared. So just think about if you take a moment to get up before them and you had a routine, if you was able to sit and gain clarity, right? And to be able to help to hear from God, to take some time to get clarity about your day and get instruction from God, then you're able to get your kids up. My sister laugh at me all the time because I get my kids up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but my kids are also in the bed by 8 o'clock at night. And I get them up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I want them to have enough time to be able to get up, clean up their spaces, right? Gather all their things, put their clothes on, and be able to walk out the house, do their devotion, and be able to walk out the house with peace, okay? With peace, right? Because I know that if my children come out the house and uh-oh. Can y'all hear me now? It may be my y'all hear me now? Let me know if y'all can hear me now. I literally make sure that they are okay, good. I literally make sure that they're able to get on the bus because I know they gotta come in contact with a bus driver. They, they have to come in contact with their children, and I don't want my kids to be able to be those kids, okay, that mess everybody else day up. So I get them up, right? I get up, go ahead and get up, and I get them up so that we can actually walk out the house in peace. But you gotta the faith and focus system allows you, right, to develop a morning and a night routine to where you're taking time to reflect and you're taking time to hear from God and you're taking time to gain clarity and instruction on how to play out your day. Because yeah, you may have a long to-do list, but if you sit and you focus on your to-do list before you give that day back to God, guess what? You're gonna walk out the house overwhelmed. So the faith and focus is literally requires you to just take a step back, get in God's presence, and be able to gain clarity on what it is, right? What it is that you need to do for that day. Okay? All right, that's the faith and focus system. Somebody put faith and focus in the chat box for me. That's the faith and focus system. The second system we're going to talk about is for the woman whose schedule is scheduling her. So, how many of you guys said that your schedule was working you and you was not working your schedule? Okay, this system, the life and weekly planning system for you. This is the woman who keeps you acting instead of leading her day. Okay, this is the woman that literally cannot seem to get ahead no matter what. Okay, it's like every time you literally try to get ahead, you 2 steps back. You have no clue on all the different things that you have to do, and it's like everything lives in your mind. The whole to-do list flips your mind, you're literally, like, overwhelmed with, right? This system will help you take control of your time instead of your time controlling you. So in this system, I literally was able to identify all the things that I have to do, all the roles that I have, and be able to literally take them and say, "Okay, I have to do this at 8 o'clock, this at 9 o'clock." And I begin to literally put those things on a calendar, on a daily time block on calendar, and then I'm able to see the blocks that I have free, okay? So once I decided like, "Oh, I got some free blocks," I didn't literally fill those blocks with foolishness. I filled those blocks with self-care. I filled those blocks with date night. I filled those blocks with the things that I wanted to do or the things that were gonna get me closer to where I desire to be and where God was taking me. Y'all feeling me? And so and then some seasons when I did it, I realized that I didn't have any time. So I had to go back and evaluate I had to go back and evaluate what I was giving my attention to, who I was giving and I'm a firm believer now, some in this season, you may have to let some people go. You may have to let some things go because you have added some things to your plate that God did not instruct you to add, and that's where some of the overwhelm is coming from, okay? Y'all rocking with me, right? You keep saying yes to things that you know God told you to turn away from. You keep saying yes to people that you know God told you to walk away from. And the thing of the matter is you have a deficit in time, but you're taking time away. You know, the saying robbing people to Peter to pay Paul, but you taking time from God, girl. We can't afford to take time from God. We can't afford to take time for our spouses. We cannot afford to take time from our children, right? Y'all rocking with me this morning. Is it good? Is it good? Let me know. Okay. Right? Because it hit me when I had to literally do it. This system forces us to take inventory of the things that we're currently doing every day and making sure that they're aligning with what it is that God has called us to, what it is that we're supposed to be doing every day. Okay. All right. Because we got to bridge that gap. We walking in our God's girl era, and we got to bridge that gap. So we have the life and weekly planning system. This system literally helps me identify those areas in my life where I need to go. Identified those areas in my life where I was literally just scrolling on social media too much, on the phone too much, right? When I began to evaluate, I said I ain't had no more time, but it was a lot of things I was doing with my time and I wasn't being intentional. So that particular system helped me with it. And I was able to do more with my days. I was able to literally do a 9 to 5 in a contract. I was able to really do a 9 to 5 and then run my business. I literally operated all these roles every single day, y'all. Literally, no cap. For those of you that walk closer with me know all the things that I do, and I just added food to it. It works. You just have to be intentional, you have to do the work, right? So the third one, this is for the woman whose home feels like another full-time job. Come in the chat box and you like, "Girl, I gotta get my house in order." Come in the chat box. Now this is the system that really saved my home, saved my marriage. This is the system. This system is for the woman whose home feels like another full-time job. This is the home and family system. Come in the chat box if that's you. This is for the woman juggling meals, she juggling the kids, she got cleaning, she got homework, laundry, they got extracurricular activities. This woman loves her family but is exhausted by them kids, their husband, and all the things. Come in the chat box if that's you. Somebody said, "Lord, yes." Listen, that's the one. Right? This system brings order in your house. So I was able to take this system and be able to delegate, right, roles that were age appropriate to my daughters. That's why my daughters literally have routines. My daughters, when I'm on the prayer call in the morning, my daughters have already gotten up, they've already gotten dressed, and by the time I come back up, they're ready for me to literally go out the door and get them to the bus stop because I was able to order in my home. We have a system like, literally, and each system has different systems that are included, because you gotta remember the system is how you get things done. That's why a schedule is not the same thing because the schedule is when you get done, okay? And so, we have a system for washing the dishes. We have a system for Sundays when we have to do stuff. We have a system for laundry. We have a system for all those different things. So, this one was able to help me, like, create a routine that literally all of us was able to work together as a strong unit, right, and pull our weight in the house. So I didn't have to do everything by myself, okay, right? Because guess what? Especially if you got daughters, especially if you got sons, right? Because your sons gotta get married with you, and they gotta help their wives, and your daughters gotta leave home. So it's the thing where we can actually start delegating age appropriate activities to our children, right? Because they live here too, right? And so it's one of the things where that's structure and that's discipline for them as well. So I was able to be more intentional. Sundays literally starts our week. We have to read on Sundays. I have to get their clothes for the week. I have to meal prep because my Sundays set the tone for my week. I gotta get through Sunday. Sundays have to be set up. We got a system for washing, like with our hair. Like, we have systems around here to make my literally, I have to show up in my best version of myself, right, so that they can be the best versions of themselves. I can't pour from an empty cup. We cannot pour from empty cups. We cannot pour when we are depleted, when we're tired, because remember, that vibe comes from the mama. Y'all rock with me. That vibe comes from mama. And so we gotta make sure that we are literally in a positive vibe, right, and producing positive vibes to people that are in our household. Y'all still rocking with me tonight. Y'all here, come in the chat box. That's the third one, right? So this system helps us reflect on how we are running our home, and it brings order in our home, okay? And so this literally helps us identify, and help us be present with our kids, cook dinner, do the homework, like spend time with them, and then have time to spend with ourselves before we go to bed. Okay? All right. So the fourth system, this is for the woman that's running on empty. Okay. This is for the woman that's running on empty. How many of you guys are running on empty right now? You can be honest, you like, girl. Oh Lord, how many more days left in the year? Because I'm on empty. Right? This is for the woman that gives but never receives. This is for the woman whose body is tired and whose mind is overwhelmed. She's there for everybody. She has to show up for every single body, and she's just tired, right? This is called the self-care and Sabbath system. And this system teaches you how to rest with guilt because guess what, girl? Rest is not a privilege, it's an act of obedience, and I'm a firm believer not to get to the point to where I gotta let God literally force him to make me lie down in green pastures because he will make you lie down, he will make you rest. Rest is not a privilege, it's not something that you just get a privilege of doing that you feel like you have reward yourself. Rest is an act of obedience, right? It's an act of obedience. We're supposed to be resting, right? Burnout is not a garden, right? We cannot be everything for everybody. I don't know who this for. You can't be everything for everybody, right? And you can't be good for them if you're not taking care of yourself. Girl, you gotta take care of yourself, right? Right? You gotta take care of yourself. So this system literally allows you to identify the times or the ways or the routines of how you can literally take those moments of rest. Rest is not all about sleeping. It's about the things that you get to just step away and just be able to breathe. Step away and just be able to excel, right? And so the last one that I'm gonna do is money and budgeting system. This is the woman who wants to be a better steward of her time. How many of you guys assign your money? Meaning that when you get paid, you literally assign your money. You have to assign your money just like you assign your time, because if you do not assign your money, then you get into this yeah, you get in a whole little spending mode, right? And so this system helps you save, it helps you track what you're spending, it helps you do all of those things. Okay. All right. And so how many of you guys have done, you do it now, but have you impulse spending? Comment in the chat box. Impulse spending, impulse spending, impulse spending. This is when you buy something in the moment to soothe an emotion rather than solve a need. And so many times when I literally can see myself in impulse spending, I also see myself in guilty parenting, which means that I literally be buying out of guilt, not of because I was not present, right? Or because I worked too long, or because, right? And so you start to overspend. So this system literally puts you in a better mental state to literally get good money and to actually be able to start saving, budgeting, and planning your money. Okay. All right. And then the body and fitness. This is the system that supports you. This is how I lost 20 pounds because I had to start literally understanding that my body is a vessel that God is using. And so I had to make sure that I began to treat it well. I was like, girl, in my 30s with 3 blood pressure medications, like, girl, what you doing, sis? What you doing? We're not doing this no more, right? So I began to literally put um she said, "Yeah, that's funny, Karen." Listen, we've been there because you be caught up. So no, we have to be intentional with every seed that God has placed in our hand. And so the body that's how I was able to really understand that show up with energy and excellence and not exhaustion. It's what I did with that time, allocating that time to put myself first when it came to my because so many times when you're burned out and you're overwhelmed, you begin to just fast anything just to satisfy the fact that you ate and you're not being intentional because your mind's clogged, you're tired, right? You're overwhelmed, life is life. And so you're just trying to get through another day. You're in survival mode. So how many of you guys like, no, we're not living like this no more? The last point I want to give, and I'm gonna let you go, is why so many women in this hour are overwhelmed and they don't know why. And it's nothing wrong with you. I'm here to tell you it's nothing wrong with you. It's just the fact that your system is out of order or you don't have systems. So after I've gone over this, how many of you guys can literally attest to the fact that, girl, I don't have systems? I don't have systems. Come in the chat box. Like, I don't have systems. I don't have systems. Somewhere down the line, we thought that business people value, and that's a lie. We felt like we were exhausted. That means that we were stressed. We had strength, that's a lie, right? Hustle equals progress, that's a lie. Doing everything equals being enough, that's a lie. I see a lot of you guys that don't have systems, and that's okay. But I'm telling you, these things that we're believing are tricks of the enemy, and they're not God's truth. They're survival truth, and we're not going into 2026 with that road, right? Because we've already literally declared and decreed that we're not. We don't need more hours in the day. We just need structure that honors the hours that we already have. We don't need pretty planners. Now they're good to have. I love them, but we need to make sure that our planners are serving a purpose. Some of us don't even know how to effectively buy a good planner because we're so caught up in the colors and we're so caught up in the title to where we don't even understand the elements that are included in the inside the planner that's gonna help us bridge that gap. And so we literally buy the planners and they're so pretty and that's why they stick because you're like, "Oh my god, it's so pretty, I don't wanna write in it." But the reason why you don't wanna write in it's so pretty because you don't know what to put in, because you don't have a system. You can't have a schedule without a system, okay? Right? The planner isn't gonna solve your problem. The schedule is not gonna fix your life. Until we begin to literally build systems and figure out how we're gonna get things done and how we can get things done on God's strength and not our own, will our life change. Transformation is a lifestyle. It's not something that you just do one day and you just get no, it's a lifestyle. It's something that we have to get up every day and drive for, right? I knew mode only too good, like, literally, being a single mother and a wife, being in survival mode. But even daily, I'm asking God, "God, deliver me from every characteristic that I'm carrying that puts me in survival mode and that has me operating as an orphan and not your daughter." Right? Right? Because it's time out. How many of you guys be like, "Girl, I'm not doing this. I'm not living in survival mode anymore. I'm not going into 2026 is doing the same thing," right? And this is why we get to March and we're reverting back to the same old things and we couldn't accomplish anything by the end of the year because we're looking for a schedule literally to change our lives, and that's not gonna happen. It's not. It's not gonna happen. We have to ask God to deliver us from survival mode. So who's ready for a level up? I'm not talking about the cute kind. I'm talking about really sacrificing your morning and getting up out the bed. I'm talking about the kinds of where you gotta let some friends go. I'm talking about the kind of where you gotta literally focus and you gotta literally put in the time and you may have to take some time away from social media. You may have to put them lemon pepper wings down. You may have to literally fast and pray. You may have to like literally save and budget. What are you gonna sacrifice, right, to get you to the next level? What are you gonna sacrifice to get you to the next level? Are you ready for a level up? Are you ready for God to deliver you? Are you ready to do something different? We've been walking in these cycles for way too long. We've been stuck for way too long. We've been believing the lies of the enemy way too long. How many of you guys are really ready to level up? How many of you guys are really ready to say, God, I'm all in. I'm committed to this, God. God, I know now that I need systems, God. God, I know now that I don't need any more motivation, God, but I need your healing, God. I need you to deliver and set me free from operating in the survival mode, God. God, I need you, Lord God, to literally show me the way. Show me how to be your daughter, God. Show me how to operate in your supernatural strength, God. God, I need help, Lord. I need your help. God, I can't do this by myself. And when I understood that I could not live this life by myself and I had to include God in it, that's when things changed for me as well. We cannot live this life. We cannot, it's no way we can juggle all these things and not include God. We can't do it. I can't sit here and tell you that you can do it because we need Him to lead and guide us and we need Him to give us the blueprint on what to focus on. Y'all rocking with me today. How many of you guys, let me see in the chat box. I don't see enough people for all these people that say that they don't have any systems. How many of you guys, in order to build systems, in order to live by the systems, in order to like stay focused, you gotta be disciplined. Like really, really disciplined. Like, I mean, like you have to sacrifice some time. Like some of us, our problem would just be if we get up in the morning, get out of bed, and just literally get up. Some of us, it's just the fact that we can't go with it when everybody else go. We got to stay at home, right? Some of these things just sitting, understanding that, oh my God, I just need a system. I just need a system. I just need a system. I just need a system, right? Your life just don't change because you want it to. You gotta do something. You gotta do something, right? You gotta do something, right? You have to do something. But you guys, I see that you guys are saying, "I'm ready to do something. I gotta do something," right? And so that's what I created the systematic woman, right? The systematic woman does not have to sacrifice her goals for her family or her family for her goals. She does not have to sacrifice the 2. She does not have to go to the crossroads and choose. Like, she literally creates systems so that she's able to show up in the most authentic form of herself, being the best version of herself, which is the version that God created her to be, the original, right? Which is the original design, right? So we are called to be systematic women. We are called to be women who operate on who are intentional with our seeds, who are intentional with our time, who are intentional with what we give our attention to. And so that's why we can't roll like the other women. We can't roll like other people. We can't roll how society tells us to roll. Right? Because once we begin to operate and be intentional with what we're giving our attention to, we're going to see the transformation. You're going to start seeing the progression. You're going to start waking up every day because I understand when it's a thing to where now we got to sacrifice and we got to be all in. Right. And so it calls for early mornings and late nights. But just the idea of getting up out the bed, being fulfilled, and going to bed at night fulfilled because you now have clarity on what it is that you're doing daily instead of having no clarity and you're literally everything is in a blur. How many of you guys like, girl, I know I have a lot of things going on, but I still want the clarity to get up to be fulfilled, to know that, hey, at the end of the day, I'm closing this gap. At the end of the day, I'm literally getting one step closer to where I desire to be. At the end of the day, I'm literally operating in purpose. That's the biggest thing. Being able to get one day closer, doing something that's getting you one day closer. If you're not in that, if that's not in your view, what are we living for? Right? Right? And so I wanna personally invite you literally to the Systematic Women Workshop, the Systematic Women Workshop. This is where I'm gonna get in and I have case studies, I have proven formulas, like how to build out these systems. So now I gotta ask you, which system did you resonate the most with? Out of all the systems we talked about tonight, which system did you operate, right? Did you resonate the most with? Which one did you resonate the most with? Come in the chat box. Which system did you resonate the most with? I wanna know. I want to know. Literally, I wanna know which one. Because in this workshop, we're gonna build them out. We're gonna build the top 3 of them out, and you're gonna be able to walk away. In each system, you're able to use any planner, right? Convert it to any planner that you buy. Because I know y'all still love y'all planners, I know. But you're able to literally convert it to any planner that you have to be able to create your daily, your weekly, and your monthly schedule. So, which one of the systems that you resonate the most with? Which one? Which one did you resonate the most with? Right? This workshop is going to literally take you out of that overthink, taking you out of living in survival mode, taking you out of always starting over, taking you out of overthinking your next step, feeling guilty. Like this is going to help you literally build a systems around what every aspect of your life, whether it's the faith and focus, whether it's the life and whether it is self care and Sabbath. Which one? Which one? Y'all come in the chat box that you resonate the most with. Which one? Let me know. Which one? Which one? Because we don't wanna go into 2026 where we have more things on our plate, right? We wanna make sure that we're being intentional and we understand what it is that we're doing right now so that we are not overwhelmed anymore, right? Right? Somebody said all of them, but if I can get my home together. That's another thing, like, I think for me, it's like, if we can get clarity in our home and peace in our home, I think our days would be better anyway, right? Because sometimes when you have a long day at work and you come home, it's like a whole nother a whole 'nother job sometimes, right? It's like a whole 'nother job sometimes. Right? So basically, the systematic woman workshop is going to help you build out your systems. It's going to help you literally go into 2026 with more confidence on what it is that God is calling you to do, and on top of that, how to get your life in order. Because we don't want to. operate in burnout anymore. We don't wanna literally be broke. We don't wanna keep operating in the poverty mindset. We wanna make sure that we are, literally operate in the capacity that God is literally holding us up to. Like, we wanna become her. And how do we become her? By being the best, the original design, and God did not create us to literally be overwhelmed and full of anxiety and burnout. So we have to literally create our systems. We gotta get our homes in order. We should be focusing on building legacy. Some of us are called to literally break generational curses. How do we do that when we're bombarded, when our mind is always bombarded and we're always down and we're always tired and we're always depressed? We cannot do these things. We cannot fully operate in God's calling if we are bombarded, if we're burned out, if we're operating on fumes, right? So in this workshop, I'm going to teach you the systems that's going to help you walk into literally 2026 with the company. I'm jumping in the lab on January the 6th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. During that time, literally, we're gonna map out your system. We're going over all of them. I'm gonna show you case studies, real women who went through each system. I'm gonna show you how they started. I'm gonna show you exactly what they did. I'm gonna show you how they are now and how the system transformed their life, right? Because transformation is a lifestyle. So within this, it's a 90-minute workshop. Like I said, we're building out our systems. We're gonna transfer the system into a schedule because remember, schedules can't change your life. Change schedules can't change your life. Okay? The system does. And if you don't have a system, then you cannot create a schedule. That's why we just got these pretty planners and they're not doing anything for us. Okay. So we are going to literally jump in and we're gonna literally break the cycle. We're gonna disrupt hell, and we're gonna live according to how God is calling us to live. So January the 6th, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I want you to join me. If you said that you don't have systems, if you said that you're ready to level up, if you said that you're literally ready to walk into all God has called them, if you said that you're ready to get your house in order, if you said that you're ready to get your money right, then I need you in the room. I need you in the room so we can build out these systems. I need you in the room so we can do more of the things that we want to do versus all the things that we are bombarded with doing. I need you in the room so that we can understand to not live like orphans with God's daughters. I need you in the room so we can ask God to deliver us from being in survival mode. And we can understand when those triggers come so that we don't operate in that capacity anymore. I need you in the room. Okay. So I've pinned the link. You guys see the link at the top. I've pinned the link for you guys to join me. I am so excited that you guys came and joined me tonight. I am like a couple minutes over, but I'm super excited. Hopefully, this literally helped you change your perspective on some things before you went into 2026 to try to, plan your years out. Hopefully, this helped you. Come in the chat box and let me know if it helped you. If you're signing up, if you're joining, listen, this is one of the things where I know it changed my life. And I know I can't keep getting on this platform and giving you the highlights, but girl, it's highs and lows. And I promise you, if I hadn't created systems, if I hadn't put God back into the head of my life, listen, I would have lost my marriage. I literally would have lost I promise you, I would have lost my mind because I was bombarded. I was tired. I was really ready to check out of here because I was so tired of doing all the things and didn't see any progression. And while I looked like I was successful on the outside and successful on these platforms, I was literally crying myself to sleep at night. Like, Lord, I know this is not my life. God, I am tired. God, I'm overwhelmed. I have no clarity. I can't even create. God, I can't even think. God, I don't have time to sit and read a book. Lord, you got to help me because I know I did not sign up when I said I was gonna be committed to the God's girl, I did not sign up for that package, right? Literally, right? Yes. I'm telling you, Miss Perkins, thank you. I promise you, it changed my life. And that's why I promise you, the class that we put this workshop, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your life, literally. But guess what? You gotta do the work. I can't want it more than you want it, right? I have to just do my part with actually giving you the formula and it works. I'm a living witness that it works. I'm a living witness that it works. Literally, we are flourishing in our new city. My girls are athletes. They're in basketball. I'm a basketball mom. I'm a volleyball mom. I'm a swim mom. Listen, I was couple of years ago, I didn't even want the kids. I didn't even have the time for the kids to sign up for the extracurriculars. Literally, I'm running a business. Me and my husband has businesses. I literally just accepted a 9 to 5. Listen, and I just added school. And I literally go to bed fulfilled every night. And I'm gonna wake up every morning and give God his time. And I'm not overwhelmed. In the moment, Imma tell y'all, when y'all get so rooted in your systems, the moment that you begin to feel like you add too much to your plate, guess what? You'll get convicted. You'll go back to your plate, and you'll begin to evaluate those things that are on your plate, right? So it works. You guys go grab your seat. After you guys have grabbed your seat, go ahead and grab your seat. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna show, more footage, more live classes as we get into going into 2026. We are walking in our God's girl era. We're not faking it. We walking in it. And we are systematic women. We are women that are no longer going in, walking around, right? Not having systems that keep us from burning out. I love y'all. Until we try to again, stay focused and keep pushing. Bye.